43 seconds left. A tie game. Everything on the line. What would you do? If you're Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions, you go all in. Tonight, we're breaking down one of the gutsiest performances in NFL history. A game filled with drama, tension, and playoff implications. Stick around, because this is more than a recap. It's the story of grit, heart, and unshakable determination. The Detroit Lions came into this matchup with sky-high stakes. Riding an 11-game winning streak, they were one victory away from securing their playoff spot. On the other side, the Green Bay Packers were desperate, clawing to keep their postseason hopes alive. Lambeau Field was buzzing with a playoff-like atmosphere. It felt like January football had arrived a month early. The Lions started strong. Jared Goff led an impressive opening drive, mixing passes and runs to keep the Packers' defense guessing. By halftime, Detroit held a 17-7 lead, and the Lions faithful could almost taste the playoffs. But Green Bay wasn't going down without a fight. Jordan Love, who struggled to find rhythm early on, came alive in the second half. He connected on 9 of his last 13 passes, orchestrating 4 scoring drives to erase the Lions' 10-point advantage. Suddenly, the game was tied, and every play felt like a season-defining moment. Now, quick question. Does anyone else think Thursday night games should come with a warning for potential heart attacks? Or is that just me? Let's dive into the fourth quarter, the stage where legends are made. With the score locked at 31-31 and just minutes remaining, the Lions knew they couldn't leave anything to chance. Jared Goff was flawless under pressure, completing 13 consecutive passes. This wasn't just football. It was a masterclass in poise and precision. Detroit found themselves in a critical 4th-and-1 situation at the Green Bay 21-yard line. Now, most coaches would play it safe and kick the field goal. But Dan Campbell isn't most coaches. He gambled, opting to go for it in the most high-stakes moment of the game. What happened next? Chaos. Goff got stepped on by one of his own linemen, nearly fumbling the play. Somehow, he managed to hand the ball to David Montgomery, who powered through for 7 yards. That gutsy call set up Jake Bates for a game-winning 35-yard field goal. Bates delivered, and the Lions officially punched their ticket to the playoffs. But here's the thing. Was this one more about Detroit's resilience or Green Bay's missed opportunities? Let's unpack that. The Packers had their chances. Jordan Love's second-half performance was a revelation. He averaged over 10 yards per pass attempt, threading the needle to his receivers and nearly stealing the game. Christian Watson had a standout night, hauling in 3 catches for 108 yards, including a jaw-dropping 59-yard reception that kept Green Bay's hopes alive. But mistakes haunted the Packers all night. Penalties, like an illegal contact call on Watson that negated a touchdown, cost them dearly. A fumble in the first half after a 20-yard gain into Detroit territory was another missed opportunity. Even a poorly timed timeout in the third quarter, which they used during a drive that ended in a punt, came back to bite them in crunch time. The Packers' defense held its own for much of the game, but they faltered in the red zone and on critical 4th downs. Despite the loss, Green Bay proved they could hang with one of the NFL's best teams. And seriously, can we talk about how penalties always seem to show up at the worst possible moments? Like, does someone up there have a drama button they press during these games? While Detroit's offense deserves its flowers, their defense was equally heroic, playing without key starters like Joshua Paschal and Levi Onwuzurike. And with 18 players on injured reserve, the Lions' defense was stretched to its limits. Then, as if things couldn't get worse, Alan McNeil, one of their most reliable defensive linemen, left the game in the first half. Yet, the Lions didn't flinch. Backups like Pat O'Connor stepped up in a big way, delivering career-best performances when it mattered most. The Lions allowed 4 touchdowns, but 2 came on short fields after turnovers. When it mattered most, they forced a late 3-and-out and held the Packers to a field goal instead of a touchdown in the closing minutes. This gritty, all-hands-on-deck effort was a testament to their resilience. Now, with their defense battered and bruised. Do the Lions have what it takes to make a deep playoff run? We'll explore that in a moment. For Detroit, this win was about more than just securing a playoff spot. It was a statement. They've won 12 of their last 13 games, proving they're not just playoff contenders, but Super Bowl threats. Jared Goff's leadership, Dan Campbell's bold decision-making, and the team's collective grit make them a force to be reckoned with. For Green Bay, the loss was tough but revealing. They proved they can compete with the league's best, even while missing key players. If they can clean up their mistakes and capitalize on opportunities, they'll be a dangerous team in the seasons to come. So, who else thinks Dan Campbell should start giving motivational speeches at halftime for every team? Just me? Okay, moving on. The Lions are in the playoffs, but the journey is far from over. With their gutsy playstyle and never-quit attitude, they're poised to make waves in the postseason. Meanwhile, the Packers walk away knowing they're closer than they've ever been to reclaiming their place among the NFL elite. And that wraps up this incredible Thursday night showdown. But the world of sports is filled with stories of legends, and there's no greater legend than Lionel Messi. Click here to watch our deep dive into his astonishing career and record-breaking achievements. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. See you in the next one.